How many of you like working on Hondas? I love working on Hondas because they make diagnostics so easy. Let me show you. This is going to be a quick video. I'm not going to tell you why this car is here. It's irrelevant. I just want to show you how easy it is to diagnose Hondas. Alright, we've got our pre-scan here. Let's just go over here and see what codes we got. Okay, we got a B12D2 power control unit, IG2 circuit error. Okay, and then we've got a lost COM with the seat heater control unit. Okay, 2 codes there. It's actually in the seat heater codes the same, power windows is the same, and this PCU actually just has this B12D. So what is this B12D? Well, let's just click this. This is going to take us to motor, where we can see how to troubleshoot this code. And here's the flow chart basically. Alright, DTC B12D2, problem verification, failure is duplicated, failure is not duplicated. Well, so failure is duplicated, it happens, resets immediately, body control module. There we go, we need a body control module. Yes, according to this code, we need a body control module. If we actually read the flow chart here, clear the code, basically cycle the ignition on and off, blah, 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 and check for DTCs. Is it back? Yes. Replace the body control module. There we go. Easy diagnosis. What's going on? Hopefully you enjoyed that intro. Of course we probably don't need a BCM. We've got a 2016 Civic here, and it's actually here for a battery drain issue. So let's just check it real fast. We're going to use the Sean Tippin calls this the Snicker Bars amp clamp. We're going to go to the 100 amp setting, going to go over to DC. We're going to zero this just for good measures, and we're going to just clamp around. This is the ground cable, goes to the body right here. So let's see. Oh yeah, 23.8 amps on that. I've also got the Topdon hooked up to it, and you can see it's actually putting out 27. A couple of these amps is probably just going in to charge the battery because it was slap dead. There wasn't 1 volt on this battery. It also has some other issues. So let's go in the car and I'll show you the other issue that it has. It actually had a bunch of issues, but I've narrowed it down some. I've got stuff taken apart, just checking some stuff already. But the thing that it does when you turn the key on, that is an issue that we need to figure out. Oh, it's not even going to do it this time. It's been popping up like iKey message. Oh, there it is. Keyless start system problem. There we go. So let's actually figure out what is wrong with this car, because my preliminary checks so far, it's not a BCM problem that I can tell. Well, since Honda makes this so easy for us to diagnose with that awesome troubleshooting tree, let's dig into this and actually see what's going on. And from just a little bit of research that I've done, I know the PCU power control unit is actually just another word for BCM. So the diagrams and everything are in BCM, and it clearly tells us that it's something to do with the IG2 circuit, which I would think means ignition 2 circuit, and there's an error with that. So on all data here, I've got the OE diagram pulled up I've also got the aftermarket one too, just to kind of be able to show you things a little easier with it. But on the OE diagram, this is the power distribution diagram. We have the IG2 relay circuit right here. We see we got power coming in right here from the underhood fuse box. We have BCM controlling the relay here, and then the other side of the relay here. Way I've checked this by looking up the pins and everything on the BCM is this is actually a 12 volt switched to the ignition relay, and then all the relays in here share a ground side, which is a little backwards from what most people do. Most people, or most OEs, basically will supply power to all the relays and then individually ground side switch them. This one is power side switched. Not that big of a deal, but it does help us with troubleshooting this a little bit. So the BCM also monitors that circuit through this little resistor right here. So once this contactor is closed, when the relay is turned on, this will send power through it, and one side of here goes out to other fuses. We can show you that in a minute. And then there's this IG2S, which I'm assuming is a sense wire, through this resistor to the BCM. So our code says the BCM has an error with this circuit. Why is there not some circuit testing going on for this circuit? It is clear the code, cycle the accessory on for 10 seconds, cycle the ignition on for 10 seconds. Did the code say? Yes. Put a module in it. Why is there not at least some basic circuit testing done? I don't know, but we're going to do some basic, this is going to be very basic circuit testing. And we're going to go over here to the aftermarket diagrams, just because I can click things, highlight things, and move around a little better for y'all to be able to see. All right, so here we've got our IG2 relay, and you can see right here we've got our wire highlighted that's coming out to this gray wire, which is going right over here to the BCM. So you can see right here BCM. If I could quit clicking extra stuff, and it's on connector G pin 32, a gray wire. My amp clamp's telling me I didn't turn it off. So that is our 12 volt control, and like I said, these other relays, they all share a ground, which is this black wire that comes out and goes over to G17. Well, I already know I don't need to test the black wire, because the car turns on, things work. If this ground was bad, then none of these ignition relays would be turning on. If I could quit clicking stuff. I need a mouse. So I could rule that wire out as being a problem, at least externally, of the fuse box. On the output side here, we can see this is going to go to figure C on the third page of this diagram. And we've got this little sense relay, or sense resistor, basically. This is just a resistor, so the BCM can monitor this circuit. The BCM should see when this relay is turned on, power go through this resistor to the BCM. The BCM is going to read that voltage. When the relay is then turned off, power goes away, that resistor should actually find a path to ground. So I'm really suspecting the BCM is looking for either 0 volts or 14 volts on this, and it's just using this, or not 14 but 12 volts. I'm thinking 14 because I've got my maintainer hooked up, but the BCM should still see some voltage come and go from this circuit. That's the only way it can really monitor this circuit. With this side being 12 volt switched, I guess it could see the if there's a short to ground, maybe. Like if it tries to send 12 volts out and it's too much for the BCM and it overloads the circuit and pulls it down, maybe it could sense that being an error. But either way, we only really got 2 wires really that we need to check. This gray wire and this light blue wire that go down to the BCM. We're also going to check a few other things too. This C, this call out C, let's go over there to page 3. Right here, let's call out C, and you can see it comes over here to fuse 22 and fuse 9. I don't understand why things are not wanting to highlight too correctly today. But either way, fuse 22, fuse 9, they are getting power from this relay. If we go back over here to the relay, we can see that the power coming in is from the underhood fuse box. Let's see, right here from E, underhood fuse box. So that's going to be on page 1 of the diagram. So here's our call out E, and it's a 30 amp fuse. So this is battery power coming into the relay and then out to fuse 9 or in 22. So car's off. I've cut the key off, I don't know, whenever I started looking at this for y'all. So let's do a few little checks and see what's going on with this circuit. On the maintainer, you can see we've still got 27 amps coming out. Let's just double check our draw coming out of the battery here. Let's get that on DC and zeroed, and there we go, still 23 amps. So still definitely have a battery drain going on. And I've already been checking some things, so I've got some panels off. That'll make this a little easier for me to show y'all something. So we're just going to use voltmeter, a little 194 bulb, and I'm just grounded here. It's metal. I know this is grounded to the chassis. Is it great? Probably not. It's going to be good enough for doing some voltage testing that we're going to be doing. I've already got the BCM pulled down. Let me get my flashlight on over here. So this is the BCM. It lives on a little bracket that's way up in there. So I've got it pulled down here for us to just be able to see that, do some testing with it. And then we've got our fuse box here that has the relays in it and that fuse 9 and 22 that we want to check. So as you can see, the dash is off, things are off in here. I don't see anything on, but apparently something is pulling 20 something amps. So there's definitely something going on here, but I'm following this code because it's a starting point. It's just somewhere to start. So let me set y'all up here, and we're going to do some quick checks. And I'm probably not going to be able to get everything in the picture here. We'll go with the wide angle. All right, I think y'all will be able to see good enough. From the diagram that I found of the connectors, this black connector right here is our G connector, and 32 is the last pin, this gray wire right here. So let's see what is on that wire. Everything's turned off. So we've got 0 volts there. Good. All right, this light blue wire is the sense wire from the fuse box. So let's check that. And look at that. We've got 12 volts there. Let me zoom y'all in here so y'all can see that. 14 on that blue wire. So I'm just gonna hold y'all here, take my little peanut bulb, my little 194, and see what happens. Is this voltage enough to light a small test light? No, it is not. The bulb is not lit. The voltage went away. Take my bulb back out, voltage comes back. And the card just dinged at me and turned on that keyless start message. Why? Because the BCM just saw this 14 volts go away and then come back. I think I've found our our circuit error. Okay. How is this a BCM? I guess it could be this voltage could be internally shorted. But if there's ignition or there's modules or things on this ignition circuit, they should be pulling this 14 volts down, because it's not enough to light my test light. So my test light here is 1/4 of an amp. So if the problem's in the BCM sending this 14 volts out with battery voltage, sending this battery voltage out, that would be powering what is on fuse 9 and fuse 22. Those things should be pulling that circuit down. So let's check our fuse 9 and 32, or 9 and 22, and see what's going on with those fuses. Do they have power? By this, they definitely should have power, because this is going through that resistor in the fuse box. So our fuse box is numbered 1 right here. So this is fuse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So that one right there, fuse 9, you can see we've got 14.6, slightly higher voltage. Okay, will that light my test light? Let's hang on just a second here. Let me kind of sit y'all here and get my test light so y'all can still see the 14 volts. Plug my test light up, and there we go. So that ignition circuit can carry current. Now what have we proven? we've proven that either the relay is on, stuck on, or there's something shorted somewhere else that is backfeeding power through these circuits. And I'm 100% confident it is not the BCM's fault. Well, what about that control wire? How do I know that is power? Well, I can show you that. We can test that wire. Get y'all set up here, and we're going to go back into this gray wire, pin 32 on the BCM. You can see we've got nothing here. If I just turn the ignition on, or that's accessory, and then there's ignition, 13 volts, and we can light a test light. So this proves the BCM is controlling that with a 12 volt switch. And that was me just turning it off. So we've definitely proven we've either got voltage and current backfeeding the fuse box, or the fuse box relay is stuck. Let's put a BCM in it though. So now let's get back to the wiring diagram, and hopefully I can make this thing work for me where it's not going to go crazy highlighting stuff, because I want to use the aftermarkets to be able to highlight things and show you where this circuit is going. So from the relay, it comes on this C call out to fuse 22 and fuse 9. That is power coming into these fuses. Fuse 22 goes back to the body control module. Okay, so we could have a BCM issue. Maybe the BCM is backfeeding this fuse 22. Okay, all right, we're going to test this. We've also got fuse 9, which goes to a lot of stuff: power window switches, climate controls, the heated seat switches, dimmer mirror. I mean, this is going to a lot of stuff, like all this brown wire stuff right here, all of this in here. It also goes to the front seat heater relay, and then it also outputs to this call out G. So we need to go to call out G on diagram 2. So diagram G, this is taking us back to the underhood fuse box, and it is going to the AC clutch relay, rear window defogger relay, and the blower motor relay. So inside the car, really we could determine on if this is a stuck relay or if it's something backfeeding through one of these circuits simply by pulling two fuses. If we pull the two fuses and we still see the 14 volts at the BCM on that light blue wire, we know the relay is stuck on, because there is nowhere else for this power to come from except from the relay. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to pull these two fuses real fast and see what's going on. I'm back probed here on the light blue wire, which is the IG2 sense wire. You see on the meter we've got that 14 volts there, and on the fuse box we know that this fuse is fuse 9, Look at that. That's pretty crazy. Something on fuse 9 is backfeeding that circuit. So what is that from? Let me put this fuse back in here. $14 back, and you just heard the dash. That is again because it's seen this go away, so it's seen the accessory or the ignition go off and then come back on. So we've got something on this fuse 9 circuit, backfeeding voltage, causing the BCM to set that fault code. But hey, let's throw BCM at it. So back to the diagram we have fuse 9 and everything it can kind of be backfeeding it highlighted here. We do have this circuit G that comes out here under the underhood fuse box. So we need to kind of separate this network or this circuit down a little bit. We need to determine, you know, is it on this leg of the circuit or on this leg of the circuit? So there's a couple of options we've got. We could, you know, do something like try to depin these two circuits. You know, determine is it on this C8 circuit or this G11 pin circuit. So we can depin one of them, see if our voltage goes away. That's something we could do. We also have these connectors that are in line with some of these things. We've got this driver's junction connector that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things that it could separate off to kind of help narrow us down. And really that's the game plan here. And now we need to narrow down the circuit and actually pinpoint which one is sending this voltage back. So I'm still pinned in the BCM down here, and we're looking for this to go away. Well, Honda is actually pretty awesome. They actually have these connectors. They're labeled. I know y'all ain't gonna be able to see that, and it's upside down, but that is a G. So this is our connector, and pin 11 is probably this brown wire right there. So I'm just gonna unplug this and see if that goes away. I don't know if it will or not. Let's see. Yes, it did. Okay, so now I can check this and see if I have 12 volts on that brown wire. Let's bring my meter around here. And no, I don't. No 12 volts on that brown wire. Am I in the correct brown wire? There's only 2 brown wires in this harness. I'm pretty sure it said pin 11. Well, we'll check this other brown wire just to make sure. And no voltage. So now let's see if we plug this back up, if things come back on. If it comes back on, we'll see the dash come on and say the key thing. And nothing. Oh, yep, there it is. Just took it a second. So let's see if this has got voltage on it right here. Yeah, it does. There's our 14. Let's pull the fuse 9 and make sure that is still got power. I'm sure it will be. There's a fuse 9, And yeah, we've still got that power there. Okay. So is it something inside the fuse box? No, it can't be, because if I unplugged it, it went away down there. Let's try this again. We'll unplug it here. I'm going to try to keep it connected. I'm going to try to keep my back probe in this so I can see my voltmeter down there. So yeah, as soon as I unplug it, it goes away. That it's not very helpful. I really expected that to stay alive. So I need to depin this so I can get this connector back in there, because it could be something in this connector feeding power to something that is then back feeding on this brown wire. So I've got to get this connector back in there without the wire. It's not often I let a connector beat me, but I can't figure out how to get this terminal deep-end. So we're going to have to resort to option B, which I've already shown y'all before that I don't like doing that on the recent F-150 battery drain video. So we're just going to snip the wire and I'll splice it back together. So I'm back probed into the connector. Y'all can see the voltmeter down there. So let's just snip it here. And we've still got power down here. So this is still in the BCM, or not the BCM, the fuse box. But is this from the BCM on the sense wire? Well, we can check it with the light bulb here. There we go. So it is not. This case study is getting pretty strange. We've got current strong enough coming out of the fuse box here to light my 1/4 amp bulb. That is pretty strange. Let's strip this back, and we're just going to double check and make sure we don't have voltage on this side of the circuit also. Try to do this without shorting anything out in case it does have power on it. And nothing, nope. So 0.3 volts, that's probably coming through my fingers and stuff. So our problem is on this side of the fuse box, or the wire going out the other connector. I need to get to the connector now that is going out to the underhood fuse box. I got my meter back in the BCM sense circuit right now. I've still got the wire up here cut, so that's going nowhere. I've found connector C, which is this one, and pin 8 is a brown wire, which I'm pretty sure is this little brown wire here, since it's the only one. There's a little tan wire here, but it says brown, and this is the same brown color that I've got up there cut. So I already cut one wire. Let's cut another and see if that goes away. I've got everything still turned off. So if I cut this and I still have this, we've got an issue in here. If I cut this and this goes away, we've got an issue wherever this is going. It should go to the outside underhood fuse box. So let's just see what happens here. Place your bets. Which side do you think the voltage is on? Is it gonna stay or is it gonna go? In 3, 2, 1, cut. And it went away. Okay, so now we know the issue is on this side. Let's see if I can get my meter lead, my needle to touch this. There we go. So there's our voltage backfeeding the BCM. But hey, that trouble tree said put a BCM in it, so let's put a BCM in it. Now we gotta go out here to the underhood fuse box. We've got to do some testing here, see what's going on. We know that circuit comes here and goes to 3 different things. We got to go to call out G, so we're going from G off the inside fuse box to the outside fuse box here, G. And it goes into 3 different circuits. We got blower motor relay, rear window defogger, and an AC clutch. So this is going to be supplying probably coil power. Well, no, we got power here. I'm not really sure what their thing is with this. Is this supposed to actually be supplying current? That wire surely can't be carrying that much current. I'm not really sure, but what they're trying to do here, maybe the OE diagram would show this better, but we've got 3 places it could be. So we need to get in this thing, and I don't think I've got 10 there. Looks like it's probably just clipped back here, a 10 here, and this maybe kind of comes up and out, but let's get the cover off here. And this thing is this thing is hot. This is hot. Hang on a second. You guys always want to see the thermal camera. Let me go get the thermal camera. The battery's probably dead though. Alright, we're using the Topdon. I think this is a TC003. Yeah, focus or not. TC003. This is the handheld version. They got the TC001 and something else for the phones where you could just use it with a phone, but let's get the app going here. And we're going to go to thermal imaging. And yep, there's definitely a hot spot in this relay box. It's 140 degrees right there. And there's actually a bulge. You can see this bulge right there. So there we go. We could have found it with the thermal camera, but the point of my videos is almost always, when you got multiple things going on, pick one thing and follow it. We had a code, we followed it, we're diagnosing it just off of pure following a circuit, because the OE troubleshooting tree is bullshit. Yeah, Honda, that's bullshit. Let's put a BCM in it. I probably got to clip that. But we see a bulge here. It is definitely hot here. So let's get in here and see what's going on. Holy shit. That thing. Wow. Holy crap. I'd say we've got some problems here. Woo. This thing is cooked. Let me grab my pliers and pull that thing out. I think we found our problem. Let me put my meter back on this brown wire here. And I'm gonna go pull that out, see what happens here. Strip this back a little bit, give it my meter something to hang on to here. So we got 14 there. Let's go pull this crusty looking relay out. Oh man, oh man. Oh my goodness. Holy shit. I don't know what to do here. It kind of just come apart into pieces. Oh man. I think we're going to probably have to have a fuse box. Wait, no. We don't need a fuse box. We need a BCM. Ignore this. This is not the problem. Okay, this is a result of a bad BCM. All right. There's so much, like, I don't know if this is like from the smoke that was coming off of this thing or what, but definitely got some crazy carnage in here. Lots of things melted. Get all these terminals out of here. Man, that's bad. I've never seen nothing this bad. It's safe to say we're getting a fuse box for this thing. And a BCM, because it needs a BCM. But look at that. There we go. What relay is that? Can we even tell from the diagram? Oh man, that's crazy. I really don't think I'm going to be able to decipher what that was. Yeah, I don't even know which one that would be. What's their current draw? Let's turn my clamp back off and back on. 0, 0. And there we go. 0.05, or no, let's see, 0.4. Let's go down to the smaller 2 amp scale. We'll go back to DC. Let's 0 that. So we still got 400 milliamps going on. So we still got some current draw somewhere, but I think my power just went off here for some reason. Unless Lewis turned the light off on me over there. Lewis probably turned the light off on me. Yeah. But either way, this is crazy. We've got to get a new fuse box for this thing. And hopefully it'll fix this. Which I need to put those wires back together in there. BCM may be freaked out a little bit. I don't know. But we got a game plan here. We're going to go through with putting a fuse box in this thing.